You reap what you sow. It is a saying that's becoming very normalized in the gaming and entertainment industries over the past few years, and now voice actors who have previously complained the Western voice acting industry didn't hire people based on their ethnicities are complaining that that very thing is now common practice in the industry. I have a few different things that I want to show off, but before we get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, follow me on social media, and consider supporting through Patreon or via YouTube memberships. So I wanted to start off with this Bounding into Comics article. Western voice actor Soon Wong Pro ZD, unhappy with what he sowed, complains that the industry is now segregating roles by race. In yet another instance of identity politics being scorned by the very ideology they promote, after having himself championed such authentic casting practices, the English language voice actor Pro ZD has now found himself offended by the Western entertainment industry's turn towards racially segregating their available roles. I have always said this should not be the case. If you have a voice that fits a character, it does not matter what skin color you have. It does not matter what you look like, okay? There have been so many females playing male characters and male voice actors voicing female characters over the years, and that is the way that it should be, right? If your voice fits the character, that is all that should matter at the end of the day. But people like this have championed for the industry to be turned upside down, for them to only cast people who could fit the character description, right? Unfortunately for them, though, they are now facing the consequences of their actions, and I think that it is hilarious. You get what you deserve, you reap what you sow. It says he's otherwise known by his online handle ProZD, as well as for performing in such notable roles as, in One Piece and God of War Ragnarok, expressed his frustrations toward this rising trend via a now deleted Twitter thread, originally shared to his personal account on October 23rd, and I think that he deleted this thread because he realized how poorly it was going over for him, because he is one of the people who championed for this to happen. He said, I got an audition for a prominent cartoon where I was just sent the Asian character. I looked through the rest and I told my agent, hey, I'm happy to read for this, but can I read for some of these others? To which I was told all of those characters are drawn as white, so no. To add extra insult to injury, the character I got sent was labeled Middle Eastern, Southeast, or Southeast Asian, because that's all the same, right? You can just lump those all into one. My agent told me that this is just how some major studios are doing things now, but it's because of people like him, because years ago, he was one of the people, doing, or I should say over the past few years, because even more recently, in only May of this year, was he continuing to push that we should only be casting, specific people for specific roles. It says, asked during a May 2nd appearance on film critic Corey Coleman's Double Toasted Interviews podcast if he felt like more opportunities would be open to you if you were, a white male, the Korean voice actor affirmed, I definitely would have more opportunities if I were white, for sure, there's no doubt about that, but I think there have been changes in a positive way, and not just for, Asians, but for all different races, different genders, he continued. There are only two genders, may I note. There have been steps, and it has been improving. I mean, even comparing now to, let's say, 10 years or 5 years ago, it's definitely changed. Like, I think studios are much more aware of, hey, we should, cast authentically. Yeah, but when they try to cast authentically now, and it affects your bottom line, and you can't get the roles you want, that is when you are totally and completely against it. What he wants to truly say is only white people should be barred from from getting specific roles. Everyone else should have free reign. If I'm Asian or if I'm a black individual, I could audition for any character, but if I'm a white male, I can only audition for white characters. That's really what he wants to say, but of course he can't say that, or else he would be completely and utterly obliterated online. But there's actually another situation that I wanted to tie into this video. That only just recently happened as well, but a voice actress had actually revealed on Twitter that she will no longer be voicing Yoriichi in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime, and her recordings for the character in the anime thus far will be replaced. So initially, this character in Bleach was actually voiced by the one and the only Wendy Lee. But it seemed with the Bleach Thousand Year Blood War anime, something happened, right? Something either got lost in discussion, and they decided to hire this voice actress, Anarias Quinones, because she, of course, fits the race and the description of this character. As they would say, she was authentically cast. And then they actually faced so much backlash for replacing Wendy Lee, they decided to do another 180, which of course equals to a 360, and are bringing Wendy Lee back. This is the statement that the dubbing studio Studiopolis had provided. We would like to address the unfortunate circumstances that led to the casting error around the character Yoriichi in Bleach Thousand Year Blood War episode number 22. It was always Studiopolis's intent to keep as many of the established cast members as possible from the original Bleach anime, and they are saying that this was just a casting error, that they believed that Wendy Lee was going to be unavailable, that she was not going to actually be able to come up with, time in her schedule to voice this character. So they decided to cast this newer voice actress, Anarias. But then they decided, you know what, we have to reverse course because people are so upset that Wendy Lee is no longer going to be part of this. So in this situation, it turned out good for Wendy Lee because she is able to voice her character that she previously voiced, which in my opinion is the way that it is. If you already have an established cast, yes, you should be trying to get as many of those individuals back for the project instead of just replacing them. But a lot of people still called out Studiopolis, saying, you guys really tried to replace someone as iconic as Wendy Lee, most likely because her skin color did not match that of the character that you have in this series, but you guys got caught. You were hoping that nobody was going to complain, nobody was going to notice, and we did. But this is what is happening in the Western voice acting industry. You have people going after these companies now because they are not getting the roles that they want. This actress, Anarias, she has been pretty understanding of the situation. It's not like she went on social media and completely attacked the studio or attacked Wendy Lee. But she, of course, did make a small slight, saying, it meant a lot to take on such an iconic woman of color. I appreciate all of the love. So she did still kind of make a slight, hey, you just replaced, a woman of color to voice an iconic woman of color, but she did not go absolutely nuclear and melt down because she is still voicing a character in the anime, just not the one that she, had replaced Wendy Lee for. But when it comes to someone like ProZD, they are now freaking out. He is melting down because he is not able to audition to play any kind of character, no matter what they look like, simply because he does not fit the description of the character. But this is what I and many of us in this community have fought against. Again, if you are an individual, you should be able to audition for any character, because in a perfect world, the best person for the job should win, should be able to be cast. But no, it's individuals like this who try to champion for the industry to be better in the ways that they think the industry could be better. I mean, these people always believe, they know what's best for the industry to keep it moving forward in the ways that they deem necessary. And now that it's gone the way they want, they're furious because they realize just how restrictive things can be. And again, it is a perfect example of you reap what you sow. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments section down below. If you enjoyed this and of course found it important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.